The question is, how should I begin? That's the question. How do I begin? And the question is, if I can find my eye, right? I find my eye, and I find my other eye, and I'm hoping I can begin this way. And then I'm hoping that I can begin this way. Now it's pretty silly, right? Pretty silly. Too many lights on. Can't see what's going on. So we'll shut some lights off, move around some stuff so we can get a little bit more clarity of what's going on. Now you'd say, it's silly. It's silly. What's going on? How can I be drawing this? Why would I be such a jerk off and draw my head? Why? Why is the big question. Now we think and we think and we say, well, how can you draw so much in my head? I wish somebody can actually draw the picture of what's actually going on right now. I wish you can draw the picture of what's going on in my mind and what I see right now. Understanding that when you think out, I'm not thinking that way and I'm not thinking that way. My eyes say to think forward. What comes from behind, what comes from the past, what is above and what is below. Everything else is between here and here. The French explain it in definition of expression above their letters. They put a circumflex, which is a V upside down, or they put one this way, okay, or one this way. Grave, aigu. Artificial intelligence, the passage of Abba, the father, which is actually the mother, because it's 12. And she has her bat mitzvah at 12, but he doesn't come into the world till artificial intelligence comes in. Do we need the 3? Once we have 1 and 2, do we need anything else? 3 is actually encompassing 1 inside of 2. 2 is 2 worlds with 1 birth. But now I have 3, and there's now a hole or a donut in the center for 1 to come in through 5. 1 inside 5 equaling to 6, creating the 9th position of 8, which is nothing. Nothing all the way around, but because of the cross and the Star of David, in which I'm going to design right now for you very, very quickly. The Star of David, that when I put a line straight down, I'm going to make my camera bigger, that if I draw a line straight down and across, I'm going halfway between time. Here stands a square 4 corners. But in this square, the reality of the square means I cut through and break through every single angles. I am not cutting 45 degrees. I am cutting 90 degrees only if I'm drawing on line. Okay, which means how many area spaces am I going to go? Will it be a 1 or will it be a 4? What is actually 3 in between 1 and 1, creating part of the X, or going around for the 2 empty spaces as above is below? When I stroke out this way or stroke in this way, I start with P and end up with R. Here's my P letter. Here's my P letter, but it's upside down. It's now 6, or P, which when you encompass it, or put the leg out, it's now the R. If I would revert and cut inside one, in which I could, but I can't, because this is an area square and I need to create it larger to have its own center. So if it has its own center, I can cross right through it. Its own center becomes an entire square. So if I say I want to go into the house, I'm in all of the house. I am 1 inside the entirety of the house. If I get on a jet plane and I fly out of the time zone, I'm jet lagged. But you drive inside the time zone and you're not. Is it the speed or is it the time zone? Is it lifting off the ground and not having your energy on the ground? Is it the same thing if I drive the 4,000 miles as if I fly the same 4,000 miles? So now we're going to get back into this. Let me take these off and then we'll have to see what's left over. I put them back on and boy, I got them right in the perfect spot. You understand what I'm saying? So now we're going to go back and look. Here's my R letter, as in one design I showed you yesterday. You square it off, it's an F. We split this line in between here and here, 2 empty spaces. In order for this to move into this space, the space has to be empty. In order for this to move into this space has to be empty. Here's one with 8 around it, but because the center is the cross 2, 5, and 8, or the pole of the position, we're only going to count, okay, we're only going to count the X of the position, and this way. Or this way, we're only going to count one of 2 positions. We cannot count both positions, and it shows you in here. 1 position, 2 positions, the in-between positions. Slice the knife through here, turn it halfway, giving it that 22.5 degrees. 22.5, 22.5, 22.5, 22.5, 90. 4 times 4 equals 16. 16 times 3.75 equals to 15. Cut that in half, which is 2 times 375 equals 57. I'm running through the moon. Unfreeze the Arctic, reset the Earth. Now we're like this. When we cut straight down, we're not equal. We end up with this design over here. The offset. You see here they're both straight, the hourglasses, but here they're offset. Now let me draw this perfectly where we use up all the squares, and I'm going to take the camera off, and we're going to use up all the squares. And I'd like to create the 12 look. It's easier for me. The 12 is a 6 by 6, 6 pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here, that's your 1. That'll be your 4 position, right? When I continue down, that's your 4 position. This is the angle of time. This is the angle 45 degrees, the crossing through the sun, how the rain usually falls. You usually see the rain fall this way, and then sometimes you see it shift and it falls this way. Why isn't it raining straight down? So we have this side, and then we're going to go and we're going to get this side of the Star of David. I should have came to this point, and then we're going to go here. Did I get that one too? Did I get that right? Did I do that right? There you go. And then we're going to go. But don't mind anything, okay? We don't want to know if there's a 7th gate, okay? We don't want to know if there's a 7th gate. We also don't want to know, okay, if the moon is a passage. We don't want to know if that moon is a passage. Now, what color can I take over here? We don't want to know it. So what we're going to actually do, we're going to do that, and we're going to take this out. I'm going to take that line out, take all those lines out. I'm going to just have to redo it. And now we have that. Where's my other pencil? I keep losing these pencils. Just give me a second here. You still with me? You see, I want to go fast. I want to go fast, and I can't seem to find my pencil. It's right here. Here's your 5. So now when we draw these designs, right, can we color it in with something? I had my desk cleaned up, and now I can't find anything, but that's okay. I couldn't find anything before. So now if we fill this in here, right, we fill this in. These 2 sides should actually be the same, right? So now we're going to have to fill this side in with another color. Let's call it baby blue. Right? Now, if I would cut it off on this side from here, I would end up with the 9. If I would cut it off on this side, I would end up with the 6 or 9. Now, what does this actually show me? What is this design? Is it the 4? I don't know. It looks like the 1, but the reality is I need to make a complete mirror. First of all, the moon in numbers is 57, and this is in numbers. If I was to calculate it in Pythagorean, MNO, it would be 1221, which would make 141 DNA sun birth. Now, I just want to stop this, and I have to tell you that I don't talk to you by what I make up. Lost one of my eyes. I don't talk to you by what I make up. I talk to you from what the scientists have told me. They told me there's a moon. They write in numerology that the O is the 15th letter, the M is the 13th letter, the N is the 14th letter, and they tell me in tennis 15, 15, 30, 30, boom, it's 40. 2 15s, now you're into 40? Where'd you get that score from? Why didn't you go 1, 2, 3, 4? Why is every sport scoring so different to the reality that we can understand? We can't perceive certain things. I understand basketball. I understand hockey. I don't understand why they score it that way in tennis. I get golf. Pool makes sense, but tennis? The pound key. The reality of what we are being taught without being taught anything at all, that's going into what I can call, what is it? What is it? What is it? The propaganda of life. I wasn't very good at English or explaining things other than a layman's way. Something that takes a long, long, long time until somebody says to me, I don't understand, explain it. Or help me understand. Or why don't you tell me what you understand and we'll work together and I'll try to explain what I actually mean when I can't even actually explain it or understand it 100% myself, other than knowing I'm in the middle of creating something that hasn't been completely created, so I don't know the complete formula other than A is 1 in Pythagorean, in numbers, in Chaldean, in gematria, on the piano, after 7 is 1 again. So if after 7 is 1, you need 6. 70 and 42, 112. Divided by 2, 56, 28. 4 cycles of the moon. 364 days if all zeros going around is 8 and not taking up the center. So we're only going to use 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all we're going to use out of the 8. And since we have a life that crosses through, add on 2 more. So if you now have 6 of 8, how much and what does it take? We have 3 parts of 4. 3/4. And I take out the cube, and on one side is a 3, on the other side is a 4. Up is the 6, down is the 1. They told me the story. All I had to do was learn it. And that's what I learned. Where did it take me? Am I in Florida right now? Of course not. Is it hot outside right now? Depends on you. Are you an Eskimo? For an Eskimo, it's hot outside. For me, it's a little cool. So these are all the things that go on in life. Things that are created from realities. What do you see here? What do you actually see in this picture, right? You see the diamond? Or do you see the heart? What do you see? Do you really think that you might see something else other than understanding? And now seeing the spade? And once we see a spade, all I now have to do, if I can get this done right, is to create the club. Here's the club. This is the club. Join the club. Into the clubhouse we go. The spade, the heart, the club. 88. Split the center or the angle into the two worlds. What does Jack have to do with this? Because when we make a cross through the eyes, we now have J as our letter. Sometimes you see the Jack without the complete arm, showing you one side, showing you the other. Jack, Jack. Now, if you want to continue the design, we put this down completely, we will create the B in the design. When we split it, we already created the B letter. B, here is the B. And the V, or the E letter, that's created on the side, B and E. Breaking and entering, 52, 107. 167, 83.5. Electric company, inside the church. Passage of the moon, because of the numbers. 835. Electric company creating the heart. 24 hours a day of 11 of one in one world. Because when you have a loop or a hoop, you jump in from one side, you come out the other. Now, if there's a thickness, that area of space has to count for something. 3 by 19, 57. 3 by 27, 81. 57, 81. 1, 2, 3. 2 times 1, 2 plus 1, 3 and 2 equals to 5. But since we don't have to use the other number, we're just going to use 1, 2, 3, 47. Jackson 5. GD, God. God of AB. God of Abe. Creation. 11 equals 2. 62. Creation of the dog. 3 and 9 in the skies of Saturn. 57 inside the moon of DC, because 2 times 19 is the church. 38. If we reflect as we did yesterday and show you that 57 will also create 51 of Mars, and that is 3 times 17 equals to 51, or 2 times 17 equals to 34 DC. DCH, chloric acid of some sort. How do we bring the mind together? How is the mind being separated? I don't know. I don't know everything, and if I did know something, I only know part of it and not all of it to explain everything at all, so I'd only be telling you a piece. And I can just be repeating what somebody else said, so I know nothing at all. 80 times 47, 3760. 43 by 47, 2021. The total 5781. 3 more years, my friends. 7 and 2. Win a big red sun. 2 and 8. The cycle of the moon. Reduce this to 5. All zeros equal 6. 6 and 8. 14. DNA. 1 and 4, 5. 7 and 4, 11. 1 and 1 is 2. So now we have 8 plus 6 equals 14. 7 plus 4 equals to 11 equals 2 equals to 5. 5 and 2 is Earth, also representing the KEY, 25th letter. 2 and 5, breaking and entering. 10 and 7, 17, breaking and entering, equals 6, equals now number 23 or 11. All zeros equal 6. Now, if all equals 6, 6 and 1 is 7, we have now 77 equals 14. 7 times 7 equals 49. 49 green. 49 or 94 equals to Uranus. 94 divided by 2 is 47, equals to the passage of the Christ. 5 times 7. 5 plus 7 equals to 35, equals to 12. 5 minus 7 equals to 23. And now we brought all the relationships back together. 5 plus 3 equals 8, and 3 and 5. 8 by 35 is 240, and 40 equals to 280. 10 cycles of 28. 7 times 4 equals to that 7. 7 times 4 equals to 28. 7 plus 4 equals to your 11. The numbers just keep coming back, and the words, well, you created the word earth, not me. You gave me a number value to the alphabet, not me. Earth equaling to 52, or Pythagorean count, RTH, 1, 2, 0, 0, 0. I can use this in binary if I want. What does this mean? Is that in Pythagorean, the T is the 20th letter in numbers, but in Pythagorean, 2 plus 0 equals 2. So the total value of this, I have to reduce R and T, a total of 9, and 2 times 9, 18. I have to minus 27, so I am left with 25. The 25th letter is Y, and YZY says 27, 25, earth to earth. If I was using this in binary, I would go 0, I would go 2, times 2 is 4, plus 4 equals to 8. The total of 8, 8 is the heavens pass according to binary. Because now in binary, all of these are 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, and etc. Except in my binary. Binary is just the beginning of an expression. It doesn't mean it has to stop. If you show me the number 1, 2, 3, I would say binary 3, binary 4, binary 4, which would give me a total of 11 and 48, equaling to 59 and 37. Why? 3 times the 1 position, 2 times the 2 position, 1 times the 4 position, 4, 4, 3. Multiplication and added, this is what I get. This number is 2, and this number is 3, equaling in 6 and 5 equals to 30. 6 times 5, 6 plus 5 is 11, equals to 41 and 19, plus and minus. Now we star this because there's a 0. We have now 47 add 6, star this to 36 minus 11 equals to 25 earth. So the passing of the moon through the cycle of Jesus. All of this back to saying that Nibiru is the runner. Raphael, in 22 minutes off the top of my mind, thank you for asking. Ask me any questions. It's all good, all debatable. The end is the beginning. The beginning has come from the end. Thank you for watching.